Hey, Aaron here. We're going to do a little special fun thing today. We're going to talk about a game that is near and dear to our hearts. A game that came out this year. It's a little game. It's called Doom. Doom. Not Doom 4, not Doom 3.5, not Doom 2, Doom.
Just Doom.
Doom.
I do believe there have been other Doom games.
Yeah, I think there's been at least 3.
Yeah.
And expansion packs.
And lots of expansion and wads out there because it's just
Infinite almost.
infinite. You can play Doom for. Okay, anyway.
Play Doom for.
This is a special episode of the NOCAST. We're going to talk just about Doom today. I've got Kevin. Kevin, can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter, yeah.
What is your Twitter handle?
I'm at K_signal666.
All right. And then we have Other Kevin.
Other Kevin.
That's an unfortunate
It is.
naming convention.
But it's okay.
We'll call you Killer. What's going on, Killer?
Killer?
Yeah.
But I've already been Kevin like on every other podcast.
He should just continue to
Everybody
be Kevin.
knows Kevin.
We
all know who Kevin is. Our loyal listeners are very familiar with Kevin. Kevin?
Yes.
Are you on Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter.
Well, that's too bad.
Gotta make that happen,
Maybe
man.
that could change soon.
Maybe that could change.
Work
Talking
on
about Doom today.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. My God.
A game that I wasn't sure what I was going to think about it at first, and I played the multiplayer beta. And then when it came out, I was completely blown away. And I still am blown away, honestly, with how the quality of that game.
Yeah.
Perfection. Absolute perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection?
My God. That game is amazing.
Tell me more.
Dude, it's easily one of the best games I have played in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's
Wholeheartedly
amazing.
agree.
Yeah.
I haven't played a shooter that good. I think I haven't played a shooter that I've enjoyed as much since I played the original Halo. For maybe the original Halo and Battlefield 1942. Like, to me, it's...
The original Halo?
The original Halo I was really blown away by when I first played it.
Okay.
And I was really blown away by Battlefield 1942. Both those games were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe Battlefield 3 as well.
Battlefield 3?
Battlefield 3 was pretty like... Or, no, you know what? BC2.
BC2.
BC2 was like, this is truly something
Multiplayer.
new. Yeah.
So, but just to be clear, talking about Doom here, we're mostly talking about the single player, the campaign.
The campaign.
I haven't even touched the multiplayer.
Right. And I mean, the multiplayer's fine. I think we'll talk a little bit about SnapMap. We probably won't talk too much about the multiplayer. It's a little boring. But yeah, I mean, a fantastic campaign.
The random single player campaigns, I don't know if it gets much better.
And I mean, yeah, what are the best first person shooter campaigns out there besides other Doom games?
Halo.
Halo.
Yeah.
Half-Life.
Half-Life 2,
Half-Life 2.
obviously.
I really like, what's it called as well? Fear. The first Fear.
Fear is Fear's excellent.
Prey.
Prey.
Pretty
It was
good.
fun.
I never played through Prey.
It's pretty good. Let's see. The new Wolfenstein, the Old Blood. That game was fucking great.
Old Blood was
good.
awesome.
Yeah,
It's funny
New Order
because
also.
Old Blood was like, this is what I've been waiting for, and then Doom was like, never mind.
Yeah.
This is what I was waiting for.
Right. No, it's incredible, and it's like, what is it that you think that makes this game so good?
So, I personally don't like many modern games. They're just too story-driven. They are just meant to look pretty, and they move too slowly. Doom was none of those things. I mean, you're killing guys within the first 4 seconds of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think when you first awaken from your epic sarcophagus, and you go to that computer screen, and the robot doctor guy, what's his name? Hayden, he's like, oh, I will walk you through this, and you just fucking punch the monitor.
Yeah.
I think that just sets the tone for the entire game perfectly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there is a little bit of story stuff, and it gets a little slow during those parts, but it's nothing bad.
Right. It's very optional.
It's
like
optional,
you could read the little texts and listen to the voice. There's little voice things, right?
There are little voice things.
It also has some of those Bioshocky, like the spirits will appear kind of things.
Like
And you can,
Prometheus.
Yeah.
The hologram.
Holograms.
Which you could just run past.
Yeah, you can run past
Like,
them.
I did. Fuck
Yeah.
it. I don't want to
Yeah.
sit there and watch this. I want to kill demons.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I did not read anything.
Yeah.
I just
Really?
pure killing.
I read it all, but But I mean, I was there for the gameplay.
Yeah.
That was what I was here for.
No, absolutely. It's interesting because like the trend in modern shooters lately has been this like cover-based shooting with very flat levels, which
Yeah.
I mean, like
I think Gears for that, I want to say.
Gears and really, I think Call of Duty maybe is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Like there's an emphasis on seeming realistic, even though they're obviously they're not Sims,
Right.
they don't play like Arma or anything like that.
Yeah.
But an emphasis on a sort of pretension of realism and just cover-based shooting, slow movement, and basically the gameplay mechanics are going for headshots and taking cover
Looting.
and looting.
Looting is the
So
other
sick of
trend.
that.
Yeah.
Looting and leveling up.
Yeah.
Some multiplayer games.
So fucking tired of that.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolfenstein did the looting.
It did do looting.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It wasn't bad, though.
Wolfenstein, I like how you shoot the enemies and like you're shooting like mechs and like you're like taking their shoulder plates and like it's your armor.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was
I like that
awesome.
about that
Yeah.
game.
Definitely. God damn, man. Total perfection. Like, I knew I loved it as soon as you get out of the first elevator and he cocks the shotgun in time with the music.
Right.
I was like, dude,
And
this
it's at
is
Doom's
amazing.
Gate.
And it's at Doom's Gate, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I was like, okay, this game's awesome. As soon as you start out like blasting the dudes, like this is awesome. And it felt like Doom as soon as I dodged the first imp fireball. I'm like, okay, I'm playing Doom now. And
Yeah.
then it really felt like Doom once I grabbed the key card and like used it to like open a door. I was
Totally.
like, okay, now we're really this is when I first played it, I was like, this is the closest game I've ever seen that actually plays like classic Doom over anything, over
Right.
Quake. The only other game that would come close would be Duke 3D, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah.
And that's the thing. So the old Doom games, the way I kind of look at it is they play something like a top-down 2D shooter. I think that's the kind of gameplay style they're going for, where you dodge projectiles and you shoot largely projectiles and you try to kill the enemies and clear them. But it's more about dodging than shooting.
Right, because that's the thing with Doom, right? It's like it's really like half movement, half shooting.
I'd say it's 60 to 75% movement, and then the rest is shooting. It's much more about staying alive to dodge these shots. It's kind of an elegant dance.
Absolutely.
And it's not something you've seen other games do. As soon as we got to Quake, we got this really refined, complete 360-degree axis of shooting, and it became all about the shooting. And then that's
Yeah.
how we moved to this sort of headshot system where we're dodging from cover to shoot, cover
And every
to shoot.
enemy has hit scan weapons.
And every
Even
enemy
Duke
is
3D, they all have hit scan guns.
Yeah.
All the aliens.
And what's interesting about the new Doom is it incorporates the dodging, just like the old Doom, on both a horizontal and vertical plane.
Right.
That was the
So
best.
fucking cool.
It does it so well.
One
Yeah.
of the best parts of it, yeah.
And it
Double jump.
Yeah,
The double jump.
it feels so
I know,
good.
It's so good. It's,
Man,
It really feels like the most frantic matches of like Quake 3 Arena. Like whenever you're really in this shit in a Doom, you get that same sort of rush that you get from that, or you get
Absolutely.
from like Devil Daggers or like a Dark Souls boss. It just keeps the adrenaline going. You have to keep moving, and it just did such a good job of translating that top-down sort of bullet hell dodging to
Totally.
the third dimension, which no other game's really done.
and your health is jumping all over the place, and like
Yeah.
you're super frantic, and you see a demon get stunned, and you're like, "Oh shit, I gotta get over him and get the glory kill."
glory kill.
And then you pull out the chainsaw and get your ammo back. It's just so fluid, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just amazing, man. And I read a couple of reviews where they complained about the mission structure being too repetitive. Fuck that, man. I want more.
yeah, me too.
Give me
I-
13 more hours of
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I agree. That game could have even been longer. I would have taken, every bit of it.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of lives on in SnapMap.
It lives on in SnapMap. It also, I think, playing through on Nightmare, for anybody that really enjoys the game, it is going to be a mandatory thing to do.
How do you do
The
that?
difficulty in the first few levels, it's sort of too hard, it'll seem, because you're dying very quickly. But it's
Crazy hard
yeah,
because you don't have the upgrades.
right. But once you get the upgrades, you can move on. You can really go through it. So it's interesting to see what SnapMap's going to bring, because with the old Doom games, we got literally like thousands and thousands and thousands of complete campaigns, like 32 megawatts.
Yeah.
SnapMap is not so robust, and you don't have as many options. I know they're
Right.
going to be improving it. And I've seen some kind of cool stuff in there, but it's not the same level of mod support that we're
No.
used to with Doom, which is unfortunate. It's one of the few real like blemishes, I think, on this game. But it's still it's good that they give a SnapMap, and it's a really cool system.
Is SnapMap also on console, or is that
Yeah.
PC?
It
only?
is, and
That's
So
cool.
It's actually cross-platform in the mapping. So
Really?
the community is larger,
Yeah.
right?
That's-
Because you can get all the maps from the console gamers,
That's really
and they
cool.
can get vice versa, which is really cool.
That's
I wish
awesome.
more games supported that.
Totally.
I think that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, that's
So-
good because then it continues that like tradition of Doom modding onto the console side,
Right.
where maybe someone who's experiencing Doom for the very first time on a console, someone who's a little more casual, can
Right.
get that experience.
And I think, speaking of console, like I feel like the developers, at least, are so in tune with the kind of gamer that I am. Like even on the console, that game is 60 FPS, right? And like it has like this awesome map making tool, and it's just a fast, awesome action shooter.
And it's vertical.
It's vertical,
which is insane.
and it controls so well on a controller. I played the whole game on a controller.
Yeah.
On my and it's the best controller shooter I've ever played.
That's incredible.
I mean, I was killing these guys on their mouse and keyboard with my controller. It's that smooth.
That's cool.
I was surprised how well, and I would not have guessed it after playing the game and spending a significant amount of time. You're thinking this game, it's so vertical. You have to jump, you have to move around, you have to be doing quick 180 moves.
Yeah.
They did a really, really spectacular job of making it playable on a controller.
That's great.
Even if I don't really want to play it that way.
Yeah.
It's really cool that it's there and that it's so functional. It doesn't feel gimped or handicapped like
Not
a
at
lot
all.
of games do.
Yeah.
That's great.
Unsurprisingly, it knows how to balance their shooters.
Yeah.
And talking about the feel of the game, every gun felt really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used all of them except for maybe the pistol.
Yeah, the pistol sucks.
Yeah, but
It's the Quake 4 blaster.
The pistol is shit.
yeah,
But
I never upgraded it. Did you guys upgrade it?
no.
Like, I wondered if maybe it was good if you upgraded it. Like, maybe there was it's actually some secret hand cannon. But I was like, screw that. I'm going to use my shit on the chain gun, and the
shortens
rocket launcher.
the recharge
Definitely.
from 10 seconds to 6 seconds or something. Because you can do the powered up shot.
Yeah,
It sucks.
What was your favorite gun to use in that game?
shotgun.
Which one?
The first
Combat
shotgun.
shotgun?
Yeah,
How
not
did you upgrade it?
with the burst shot.
With the
Really?
burst shot.
Dude,
The
it's so good.
It was the first shot too, but the
Yeah.
grenade was, I found, even more dominating.
yeah.
Really?
The grenade pretty much changed the way I play the game.
Okay, my next playthrough then, because I'm on Nightmare right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the grenade one.
Did you try it? So the chain gun has two options. I think one's a scope, which I didn't even look at.
Oh, you mean the assault rifle?
The assault rifle, yeah,
Right.
sorry. But the other one,
The
is-
rockets.
is
You mean
the
micro
rockets.
missiles? Dude, micro missiles?
That shit's okay.
They're better than the gun itself. Once you get the micro missiles, that's all you use.
They're so good. yeah.
We were talking about on the podcast, once you get the infinite micro missiles, or you can just shoot it forever.
It makes Nightmare a lot easier.
you
I'm
just-
playing through Nightmare, and it's kind of a joke. Once you get,
really?
I mean, I don't want to say it's a joke. It's still challenging. It's still a lot of fun.
Right.
But once you get that
dominating.
gun, I kind of feel like I'm cheesing the game. I don't want to use it because it's so powerful.
Wow.
But so rewarding at the same time. It just feels it's a really good feeling gun,
It's interesting, and it is true because all these guns are really you could use any of them.
Totally. Dude,
yeah.
the plasma gun?
The
Oh my God,
the plasma guns.
I love the
spectacular.
sound. Just that sound when it hits the enemies. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
thing, the plasma gun, they changed it, right? So the old Doom plasma gun was the gun, your oh shit cannon. Oh my God, there's too many enemies on the screen. I gotta just
Right,
level the
right.
playing field. Other than the BFG, right? But this game, it's more like your assault rifle. It's one of your main weapons.
Well, it does kind of have that when you get the that burst upgrade that releases
Around
the
you?
power all at once.
I love the alternate fires. They
Crowd
thought that
pleaser.
shit out really
Yeah.
well.
They're all
Because
good.
they all are fun and they're all good and rewarding.
Right.
Did you use the grenade with it? It stuns the enemies, and when you can stun them, it literally changes the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a Baron coming at you, and you just stun him, and
did.
he's just stunned, and you can just super shotgun him in the face.
I think this playthrough, I'm going to do all of the weapon upgrades that I didn't do the first time,
try
just so
it.
I can get the full experience.
Definitely.
The enemy design, that's the thing I want to talk about in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always felt like the Doom enemies were so well defined. They're almost all like a character. You just know them so well. You know their silhouettes.
Yeah.
You know the sounds they make. Everything, right? So they translated that really well in the new game. It's still oh, there's a pinky. I see that fucking pinky.
Right.
Yeah, dodge quickly. He's gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Or the Baron of Hell. You pull out your plasma rifle or rocket launcher and just fucking own him.
Yeah.
They all have they did a really good job in the way the enemies animate and move through the world. When I made some SnapMap maps, I noticed that SnapMap maps that the mancubus, just there's so much character in the way he moves. If there's a a platform he has to get on, he'll like use his flamethrowers to like boost himself up.
Yeah.
Like they really spent a lot of time on these animations of this stuff that you may not even see or think about when you're so frantically blasting everything.
And they translate so well from the sort of roles they had in the original games.
Right. To the current gen.
I will say the Revenants are a lot easier.
They are easier. They don't have that homing rocket
around, but
yeah, they look awesome.
But they look cool.
They look really cool.
Every enemy looks cool.
And they really like, again, like he was saying, you know what they are. Like you don't have to look at them for a minute. Like each enemy is distinct. You're like, okay, I know what this enemy means. I've got to start moving backwards or something.
And all their attacks are so meaningful and different that it's like it really has like this, like you know like what you need to do. Like, oh, it's a bear and he's gonna throw a green fireball. Oh, it's a it's a mancubus. He's got flamethrowers. Don't get too close to him. Like kind of. I love that, like that quick planning you do, like while you're running and blasting things.
Definitely, yeah. You're constantly strategizing in your head, and I feel like a lot of the guns can be really situational too.
Yes.
And like, what are the name of the guys that rush you? The
Pinkies.
The Pinkies. It's like, oh, you see one in the distance, you fucking pull out the chain gun, and you start unloading on that guy, and then you just quickly like dodge him and jump into a portal, and then pull out your rocket launcher and start blasting somebody else. I mean, all the guns are just so viable. And man, the flow of that game, is just
the
perfect.
rocket launcher. Speaking of the rocket launcher, the remote detonation is like the most innovative thing I've ever seen for rocket launcher. It's so dominating.
Yeah.
You guys use that?
No,
much?
I use the lock-on.
The lock-on is awesome.
The lock-on's pretty good.
If you ever do PvP in that game, the remote detonation is like the best thing you've ever. Like it just destroys.
Is that available in the SnapMap?
Yeah.
How do you get
SnapMap,
the unlocks in SnapMap?
The SnapMap, the unlocks are just as far as I know cosmetic.
Okay.
So they're not like it's not like you have to unlock game content. You have everything unlocked at the beginning.
So you can just choose which alternate fire you have with the gun.
Yeah. So you when you're placing a weapon on the map, you pick what it has.
Okay.
And you can pick cool. like triggers. So like I made it so when you get quad damage, like he's like holy shit, and then like the metal starts playing. Mm-hmm. So it's really good.
That's
SnapMap's fun. I recommend you guys dive into it. It's like Ford. It's very intuitive and it makes sense quickly.
Right.
It's cool.
And that's the thing is like I've already played through the game twice. Or I'm just on the very end of my Nightmare playthrough. But I can definitely see myself playing this game for another 30, 40 hours.
Easily.
With SnapMap. And I can see myself playing it for the next few years. Like
that's gonna be me.
Like I don't think that's gonna be.
As someone like you, we both play classic Doom regularly, right? I mean, like I play it at least once every 3 months. Mm-hmm. So this game is gonna be a big part of my rotation for a long time.
Definitely. Speaking of classic Doom, like how do you guys think? Like, there's some things that it does, and it's very similar to classic Doom. But there's some things that it does that are different from classic Doom.
Jumping,
looking up and down.
But like particularly like this game is much more about moving you from arena to arena to have an arena fight.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Whereas the classic Doom, you were kind of in these big sprawling levels, and they still have the sprawling levels.
They're not quite
but there's
as big.
not as much of it. There's not as much of the backtracking and keycard maze hunting. It's still there, but it's not there the same way it was in Doom 2 and Doom 1.
Right.
And I never felt myself getting lost in the new Doom.
Never got lost. Ever.
Yeah, it was definitely just a way of getting you from arena to arena, which I didn't have a problem with at all.
I think that was the best mapping style they could do, like for the gameplay style. Like it seems like the big maps lend themselves to the best gameplay because how fast and vertical and the way the game all plays out. I think that was their genius, honestly. Like it came out, it just was every time I was like, "Oh yeah, bring it on!" And you see them spawning in, the music starts going. And let's do this.
You like
I'm
pull
ready
the
for
eye
this.
out of the thing.
Yeah, out of the caco. It's like,
the metal starts playing. You're like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
This game was made for me.
Yeah, but you don't miss the keycard hunting. I
do and I don't.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they did something different. Mm-hmm. So it's like a new original gameplay.
Right.
It'd be fun to have a little more of that, I think. But I could see why that would be, like, I guess that they said that in the original Doom was kind of influenced by Gauntlet. Like, it's like, oh, you have to collect keys to open doors to get to the exit of the map, right?
Do you have to do that in Gauntlet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what Gauntlet. That's like the goal of Gauntlet. Mm-hmm. So, I guess they kind of want to change that formula a little bit.
Right.
It doesn't have as much of the keycard hunting. It'd be cool to have that. Maybe if they do like a DLC, they can make it more old school.
I wouldn't mind seeing it in the sequel, like just a little bit. Like I dig the arenas. Like I have really no complaints. This is my game of the year.
No, yeah,
unless the best game ever made comes out this year, it's probably my game of the year. But there's just a few things that I kind of miss from the old. Like they're kind of different things for me. Like I'm not gonna give up playing Doom 2, which I play
Yeah.
pretty on the regular to play Doom. They're different things, although it's still hitting like 90% of what I wanted out of a Doom game. I mean, it's giving me everything I want out of
The thing that it doesn't have, I think, to what you're saying, is it doesn't have much of the exploration either.
Right.
Like, you're not really exploring these huge tech bases as much. It's kind of more going through and blasting a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
But I love that. So.
And it's such good blasting.
Yeah,
And
it's like the best blasting.
The best.
It's like the best blasting.
It's interesting
Other than
because
classic Doom, like, is there anything better?
no, I mean
Not
Quake,
even close.
like Quake 3 is
great.
gives you that same sort of feeling, but it's weird because how have we gone through like 15, 16 years of first person shooters and probably first person shooters rising to the absolute prominence. And
Yeah.
none of them seem to be prioritizing like fun shooting.
I think it's because they're trying to appeal to the mass audience, and it seems like most people who play games, like I said earlier, just want the pretty graphics,
Yeah.
and they want the realism aspect.
Or they want to be part of the big set piece. They want to be the main character, like in a Michael Bay movie. They want to be like the main dude who's, killing the villain and kicking ass.
They want to be Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be why. I don't know. I mean,
It's just weird that because there was a time. I mean, I feel like the '90s FPS were really prioritizing fun shooting.
yeah.
We're now, and then we got to this point, and it made sense at the time. So maybe I just got sick of this other style of first person shooter, because it did make sense around 2000, 2001, 2002 to start wanting to play these more realistic shooters. I use scare quotes there, but I don't know. It's interesting.
I do really like the like iron sighting kind of quick reload. I like that gameplay. It's fun. I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
But I definitely think I think it has its place and I enjoy it. But I do feel like it's saturated currently. Like
Right.
to what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
agree.
We just haven't
We
had
haven't had anything like this in a long time.
really fast-paced games that take a more abstract approach to player movement.
Right.
In terms of just, it's always we want to move at a
And
speed.
level design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's an interesting question because the original Dooms, just by virtue of their technology, couldn't really look realistic. They tried to make levels that looked realistic, and if actually John Romero's released a video of some of these Tom Hall
Right.
realistic-looking maps, and they looked kind of silly.
Yeah.
But they were hamstrung by the technology at the time. So the original Doom almost is like its own universe, at least for me. It's something I've played so much. It has this look of like, it looks like it's an alternate universe. It doesn't look like it's trying to be our universe. It's just the way it looks isn't realistic to this world.
Right. Everything, especially in the new Doom, everything looks really meaty and full and rounded and masculine.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not cartoony looking or over realistic. It kind of falls in this weird in between zone.
It kind of looks, I mean, I feel like this game looks like the stuff that inspired Doom more than Doom, which isn't a
Right.
bad thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool. They did a really good job of making you feel like you're on these like aliens-esque bases
Right.
and 2001 like
And
spaceships and whatever. But
It still has like the Cyber Demon door with the skulls.
yeah,
And like the beating heart on the altar,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like old Doom. I thought I was like, that is awesome. I love that.
yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm
Right.
I'm saying. Is it's just it's interesting, and I don't think there's any way they could have done that sort of like alternate reality.
Yeah.
It's just a product of its time, but it's
Right.
it's something that's interesting for me. But comparing the two games,
It doesn't have any of the Geiger look, which both had classic Doom
That's
and Doom
true.
3 had.
Right. I noticed
There's
that
just
too.
no Geiger. really at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. There's no of the weird piping.
Piping tech, exactly. The
Yeah.
piping is like the most Geiger-y part, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Which is interesting. I wonder why they didn't include that.
they wanted something, a new take on new fresh
It
look
could
for
be.
Doom.
definitely a fresh look. Yeah,
Definitely looks different. Like the Doom guy even looks like he looks like the Doom guy, but he definitely looks different. He
Totally.
doesn't look like his overly 80s Space Marine.
right. Well, there's a lot
Like
of
the
people
showing
who are like,
abs.
"Hey, what's Master Chief doing
Right,
here?"
he does look a little Master Chief. I mean, Master Chief was technically
Master
based
Chief
on the
looks
Doom
kind of
guy.
like our Doom guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like the monkeys. They look like the Beatles. They're a lot like the Beatles. Rip those monkeys off.
Yeah, it's like fucking monkeys.
I'm really interested to see what kind of influence Doom is going to have on shooters in general.
Oh yeah,
Modern
Yeah.
shooters. Because now we have that Strafe game coming out. I don't know if you guys have been following
Oh yeah.
that.
I definitely been following that.
And then we've got the new Quake coming out.
Right.
And then there's that free-to-play Unreal Tournament
Yeah.
And there's Lawbreakers.
I haven't heard of Lawbreakers.
And there's Devil Daggers.
And Devil Daggers.
And there's what's it, Super Hot. It's been an interesting
Super
year
Hot.
for first-person shooters. We've seen a kind of shift away from realistic modern military shooters to Super Hot, which is kind of a weird abstract sci-fi techno punk
I don't even know what it is.
shooter. It's got a really cool story. It takes about 2 hours to beat the game. And then Devil Daggers, which is just retro as fuck.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing a real move back towards 90s styles, 90s aesthetics. I hope that catches on and catches fire. I mean, it already started with Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein was like the first step in that direction.
I feel like Wolfenstein brought it to the forefront.
Yeah.
No
Like the
doubt.
GoldenEye dual-wielding assault rifles.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
2 shotguns.
no, I really hope it does have an influence.
I
Me
hope
too.
so too.
It seems like it's had such a strong response
Yeah.
within both like the industry, like critical industry, like games critics have been praising the fuck out of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Got really good review scores with a few minor exceptions, and players seem to really have responded very strongly to this game.
Definitely.
The funny thing about the players is like when the beta was out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is just like a kind of fast Halo." Everyone was like Master Chief, and it had bad reviews on Steam.
Yeah.
And then when the game came out, like it has like I think overwhelmingly positive reviews
Right.
on Steam. Like everyone loves it. Like
Yeah.
clearly, it's been well received by the fans.
I would like to talk to a younger gamer, right? It's like a teenager who's playing this game for the first time and get their take on it.
Yeah.
Because
So we
this
grew up playing like Call of Duty and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this game is obviously
Pretty different.
made for guys our age.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see what they have to say. I mean, something tells me that they wouldn't like it, and they'd be complaining, and they'd be saying,
You think so?
Where's the leveling up, and where's the depth, and where's the looting?
There's definitely some depth,
They might like the
but
Well, there's
Yeah.
depth in a
Glory
different
kills.
way.
yeah, it's
those glory kills never get tiring.
the glory.
Definitely not.
It's
They're
funny
so well implemented.
because coming into this game, I had played the beta for like probably about an hour.
Yeah, me too. About an hour.
I had seen videos and I'd seen these glory kills, and it just seemed like it was doing everything I didn't want a game to do, especially a Doom game to do. And I bought the game the day it came out, not knowing anything about it. There was a review embargo, which was a big controversy right before it came out. There's this review embargo, so nobody knew. Everybody thought that meant it was going to suck.
Yeah, I remember you were saying it was going to suck.
Because Aliens, Colonial Marines had done the same thing, and a few other shit titles had these review embargoes. So it was a bad omen. But so I was like, it's probably going to suck, but I'll buy it because I wanted to make a video on it. I thought it might be interesting to try. Holy shit! Like not only was it really fun, but the glory kills. Yeah, the glory kills worked.
Totally. I mean, when I first saw the glory kills, when I saw a video, I thought it was going to be like, oh, look, it's the Gears of War chainsaw. Like,
Yeah.
this is cool and it looks awesome. And in Gears, when you get it, it's still satisfying.
Right.
But the added mechanic of regaining health when you perform them
know.
is fantastic.
Genius.
No,
Yeah.
it's such a strong gameplay mechanic.
It's so much better than regenerating health.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck wants to take cover behind the wall when you can freaking like rip a demon's face off? You know?
Right.
And like we saw that appear in Bloodborne too, where like the more aggressive you are, the more you're
true.
going to get healed. And I think that's awesome, and I really hope we see that more.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of running and hiding behind a fucking wall, waiting for my health to regain.
Yeah, I'm glad to see the first alternate solution to health packs or recharging health in 20 years of
Yeah.
first-person shooters, 25 years.
Recharging health made sense in Halo, right? Like you're like the master chef. You
yeah.
have these shields and
Yeah, I mean, he's
Mjolnir
got
armor.
a big knife. He's a chef.
Yeah, yeah, the master chef. But it seems like in Call of Duty, it's like what like I'm this World War II British guy. What am I like? Well,
I mean,
my wounds
right.
magically healed.
And I remember when I played the first Call of Duty, like I'm like, okay, this is a little silly, but it makes sense. Like it keeps me, because here's what I remember playing was like Medal of Honor Allied Assault, and you get down to like 1 HP, and you like quick save, and then
You're just fucked.
You're fucked. So you got to make it through the whole level, without taking any hit, like with no fall damage. So it did make sense, and like. But it's just every game doesn't need to do it, and it's great to see a game take a novel approach that rewards skill and risk, and keeps you playing. And it's you don't have to. I mean, every fucking game you're sitting behind a wall waiting for your health to charge.
And they also did it with the ammo with the chainsaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can get your ammo back.
And it's not just like rewarding that element of risk. I mean, it adds such a deep level of strategy to every arena, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, everyone has its set level of health packs. But once you pick those up, they're gone.
Right.
So, I mean, and I found, like, especially in the later levels, your health is just jumping all over the place.
No, that's true.
Constantly. It's
You'll get down to
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
HP, and then you go
Yeah.
back up to 200, and then you
Yeah.
get back to 10, and it keeps the tension like strong.
Yeah, definitely. And like after every firefight, I've just had a huge sense of relief after every one. Like, okay, that was intense, but give me the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, man, that game.
Yeah, insane, and the graphics. I mean,
Gorgeous.
gorgeous graphics.
It runs so well. I mean,
Man.
I have an 90 Ti, but it's still even on the
Yeah.
Ti at max graphics.
Did you ever dip below 60 FPS?
I went below 100.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like always 120 FPS.
Yeah, I mean, it was
like,
like-
even in the most chaotic situations.
On launch day,
Yeah.
it ran like that. Like, how many botched PC titles have come out lately that have just like, what's the deal, guys? Like I got the Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Launch day, that game ran under 60 all the time, constantly
Ugh.
hitting me, and people with whatever all the best, and they tight neck, which is a little bit better, right?
Black
They were-
Ops 3 doesn't run well.
I'm not sure now.
I've got the multiplayer. Like I know for like
The campaign
a week,
doesn't run well.
they let you
Multiplayer ran-
buy the multiplayer,
multiplayer
only
module.
for
Yeah.
just a week. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's a little silly.
Ugh.
I don't know. So here's a silly question. A silly question. If you could only take one, would you take old Doom or new Doom?
That's hard. I mean, Old Doom has the nostalgia factor, but I feel like the new Doom plays a lot better. And I would probably take the new Doom, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would take Doom 2.
Doom 2?
Doom 2. I mean, those maps are like I know them. I could draw probably almost every game map on a piece of paper.
All right, we're
I
going
mean,
to try that later.
I know that game like probably better than any game in my life. Like
Yeah.
I could not have Doom 2.
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
though I love the shit, that is not a knock against the new Doom.
No.
That's like that infinite nostalgia that can't be.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just love how the original plays just slightly more how I like, I guess, just 'cause
Yeah.
that's how I've grown up playing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the new Doom would be above almost every other shooter.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
What about you, Aaron?
Me, I would take the old Doom.
classic Doom.
It's hard for me to beat those
Ultimate
games.
Doom or Doom 2?
I'm just saying, you
Right,
get
classic Doom.
You get classic Doom or you get new
Right.
Doom.
What would you pick, though?
I'd pick Doom 2 if
Doom
I
2.
had to pick.
Super Shotgun.
Super Shotgun, yeah.
Super Shotgun.
Super Shotgun. Yeah. All right. I don't know. You got any final thoughts on Doom?
Quad damage.
Okay, let's talk about the Quake influence. The Quake influence is pretty awesome. Like they took just enough Quake to make it
The
make it
Thunderbolt.
good. Yeah.
They brought the Thunderbolt.
The one
back.
thing that the one fucking omission is why can't you rocket jump?
Why can't you rocket jump?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, I guess it's because you can double jump and they don't want
Yeah.
to confuse.
I
I
guess
don't
you
know.
don't really need to if you double jump.
You don't. No, you don't need
to rocket
to
jump,
do it.
really.
It's just rocket. There's something really fun and satisfying about rocket jumping.
Yeah, and I think it would have added an interesting element of strategy too, like especially the pinkies when they're running at you.
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
nice to rocket jump over
That would
them.
be badass. And
Yeah.
like rocket
Just-
them while you're midair.
Definitely.
Rocket them right in the butthole. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been good.
That would have been really nice.
Yeah.
Because every time, like, well, the first few times that I encountered them, my first initial reaction was to jump over them. Because
They're charging at you.
because
yeah.
everything's just moving so quickly
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything's so
Did they kick
chaotic.
the shit out of you when you first fought them?
Come again?
Did they kick the shit out of you? I mean, they owned
Yeah,
me, dude.
man, they
I was like
kicked my
unloading
ass.
on them. Like, why are these guys not dying?
They were
I
hard.
didn't realize that they had like that like invulnerable carapace from the front. You had to shoot them from behind. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
yeah,
It's different
they're-
than the original. They were serious. They kind of added more strategy to the Pinky because before they were just kind of like low health little crappy minions. They took like a super shotgun, but they didn't have like they just kind of were sponges.
Yeah.
But they weren't like super, difficult enemies. Whereas
No,
now
they're
they're like you see a Pinky,
They're
it's
mean.
serious fucking shit. You gotta be on
You
that.
have to prioritize them because
Yeah.
they're charging at you. They do so much damage.
Yeah.
I think in Nightmare they kill you in 1 or 2 hits. Like
Oh, man.
you pretty much have to just. But doom, you got to get behind
I
them.
like how when you
blow
die,
up the butthole.
you get they fatality you, The enemies.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah. I also think the glory kill on the pinky is the best one.
The one he like takes the throat.
No, he like takes the horn off and like sticks it in
Stabs
their,
it.
Oh, in their eye. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is really good. So okay, here's something. Like, can you think of? And I'm actually working on a video on this. But anyway, can you think of a good first-person shooter boss battle?
It's a tricky question.
I have to think about that for a second. Not off the top of my head.
But Doom,
Yeah, they were awesome.
they were
good.
incredible.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't think of a first-person shooter that's had boss battles that were that good.
The Spider Demon especially was fucking epic.
The Spider Demon
Definitely.
was amazing.
Yeah.
The Cyber Demon
Cyber
was
Demon.
amazing.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
it's a slight. I'm slightly sad that we lose those enemies as common enemies that we can
Right.
encounter multiple times. But
There's-
the boss battles were so good.
You'll
They
never
reminded
have
me of
it,
like
yeah.
Dark
They're
Souls
perfect.
boss battles.
They do. That's
Oh.
their enemy up too.
Absolutely.
And it's all about you're mobile enough to not have to just shoot out from cover. Because you think of like the boss battles in the new Wolfenstein games, even they often you're just
Yeah.
moving from cover to cover. Take
They
a couple
were not
shots,
that good.
they
move
were
to cover.
pretty bad.
Especially the final boss.
Yeah, the final boss in the New Order.
The New Order was bad.
really bad.
The Wilhelm, or whatever his name is, Strauss.
Yes, I think it was Strauss. Yeah.
I didn't beat it.
doctor with the face.
I beat the tall dude. That you kill his dog and then he gets pissed. He's like, "You killed my dog."
Yeah.
Is that Hans Gross and Old Blood?
Yeah, I think that's what his name is.
Is it?
I think so.
That's as far as I got. In
On
Old
this?
Blood. It was fun, but so those are and then we think of like normally first person shooters will take like set piece sequences where you fight a bunch of enemies or you get on a helicopter gun.
Yeah.
Think of the Strider battle at the,
Yeah.
at the end of Halo Half-Life episode 2. You get that big Strider battle. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
The set piece battles can be fun, but you don't get good boss battles because you don't get good mobility, and you need good mobility to have a good boss battle.
Yeah.
And Doom is the first person shooter in years to give us that kind of mobility back to make it so that we can have these crazy epic boss battles.
Totally.
Yeah, I can't think of a single game.
That's a really interesting point.
I don't think I can think of anything. I can think of a lot of bad boss battles.
Yeah,
I can think of a ton of horrible ones.
Absolutely.
Like the nail length. Ugh.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, or the Icon of Sin,
I kind of sin. Yeah.
whatever the Quake boss is. I mean,
The
that's literally the
Shub-Niggurath.
dumbest boss battle I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm honestly just racking my brain trying to think of one that's even halfway decent.
Right,
But I can't.
when you got to these boss battles in Doom, I mean, it was like amazing, right?
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Definitely.
I remember like when I fought the Cyber Demon, like having to strategize not to double jump because he does that like wave attack, or if you double jump, you
yeah.
get fucked.
He hits you with the higher
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They obviously like. I feel like they really spent the time with this game.
They did.
They really did.
Oh, yeah.
Like
the amount of polish is just insane.
it is. It's great. Yeah. It's something that maybe Dark Souls 3, as we were just talking about, could have used a little more.
So I don't know, which was your favorite boss?
Spider. Definitely.
Spider.
Final boss. Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, Spider Demon. I was thinking, I was like, okay, wait, what boss am I missing? What have I not seen yet? For some reason, I didn't think of the Spider Demon until it appeared in front of me. I was like, oh, it's the Spider Demon. Like, that's the perfect final boss.
Okay.
The perfect final boss.
I knew it was going to be the Spider. It had to be like because I hadn't
Right.
seen the Spider Demon,
Right.
and you hadn't even seen the little Spider Demons. There's a few
There's no
enemies.
Arachnotrons.
Yeah, there's a few missing enemies that I wouldn't mind seeing. I really hope that we get like an expand-alone, like the Old Blood for this, like a 5 to 8 hour game, a little different
the
setting,
Arachnotrons.
with some new shit and a little mix it up would be.
With
wet dream
Arachnotrons
come
and maybe
true.
even the Arkvilles.
But I really liked that Cyber Demon fight, and I really liked the Spider Mastermind. So incredible boss battles and just so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Man, like every moment of that game was just fun.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, and the soundtrack. I mean, Nick
So
Gordon apparently just a big Meshuggah fan.
Yeah. That
Awesome.
Game, that game's every time the music starts, it's like, yes,
Yes.
this is so good. I also feel like he really had this. He had the passion for it too, because like apparently like he like put a bunch of pentagrams like in the audio. Like if you look at like the spectrogram of the audio,
Yeah, there's pentagrams.
there's pentagrams in it.
in the spectrogram.
Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Yeah, there is.
that's crazy.
Just because
I
he's
don't even know
like,
how
just
you
because
do
he's
that.
so like,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That-
So fuck, man. I don't know. Do we miss anything?
I just want more.
More Doom.
I mean, the DLC, are we going to get more single-player stuff?
From what I understand, and my understanding is not perfectly informed. It's not absolute. The season pass is good for multiplayer, more multiplayer maps. Which
Okay.
the
Bet you
multiplayer
they'll
is
make an
fine,
expansion.
but I feel like
I think
at this
that
point,
everyone wants an expansion.
everybody does want an expansion.
Like everyone who played the game wants more campaign.
Imagine if they
Right?
made an
Yeah.
expansion that like you went through a slipgate.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
Quake.
it's Quake. It's a Quake expansion.
That'd be badass.
But still Doom. That could be pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess I feel like we covered it all. But
Was there anything you guys didn't like about it? Did you have any complaints?
I
Nitpicks?
fell through the world once.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was frustrating because
Yeah.
it was at the tail end of an intense firefight. I almost had it, and I fell through the world. That was frustrating. But other than that, I can't think of a single complaint.
I'm a little sad that it doesn't have dedicated mod support.
Yeah.
I really wish it would have that. I don't know if we're ever going to get that. I think they said no. Maybe SnapMap will be able to handle it, but it's not going to have the legs that, I mean, there are epic megawatts coming out all the time.
Still.
For Doom 2. Every
year there's like
20,
hundreds, hundreds.
20 something years later. So I don't think in 20 years we're going to be getting new SnapMaps. Whereas we might still be getting Doom 2 WODs in 20 years.
Probably.
I think I liked the art style, but it was a little like sometimes I really liked it. Some of those
Just the Cyber Demon.
tech-based stuff was really cool.
Tech-based stuff. My only
Looked
complaint
really great.
the Cyber Demon.
The Cyber Demon,
I feel like he doesn't look quite Cyber Demon-y enough. I don't know.
and I just wish for slightly more exploration.
Okay.
Those are my only real complaints. How about you?
I feel like I love that game so much. My complaints are really just nitpicks. Like they're not even real, true complaints.
Yeah,
Mine were similar to what you said. No mod support.
Yeah.
But honestly, SnapMap is. I mean, I agree it's not nearly as in depth, but someone like me who's not a hardcore developer, it's so easy to use.
Yeah.
Yet so like rewarding and fun to
it's
watch.
a
people,
trade-off.
It'd be cool to have both.
Yeah,
But I really, really do like SnapMap. But yeah, I felt like the art style wasn't. I love it. I do love it. It just maybe I wish it looked a little more classic Doom at times. Even though it has a ton of throwbacks.
Yeah.
Tons.
yeah.
I've got one complaint, and I don't know if it's necessarily a complaint, but at 13-ish hours, it was a little short. Like most times when I finish a game, like, okay, cool, on to the next one, because of this backlog that I have is just stupid.
Oh yeah.
With Doom, when it ended, I was disappointed, and
Right.
that doesn't happen very often
Yeah.
when I finish a game. I was just begging for more.
I think that's an accolade. But
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
but I mean, 13 hours is a little short.
yeah.
It could have been longer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Pretty good
a-
for, I think it's pretty good for an FPS campaign.
that's a topic for discussion. I think of what's
Length
good
games.
for lengths. Yeah,
I had one other nitpick. It's a small one though.
yeah.
Just the enemy sound design is not as in depth.
That's true.
Because I was talking about like the character design kind of the enemies in the old classic Doom. Like when you hear the Barons, "Wah!" you know it's a Baron. Or you hear every sound from all the classic Doom enemies. I feel like we're so defined. Like the imp, like that all their sounds. They aren't quite as defined in this game. They are kind of roars and hisses and growls.
Yeah.
So I couldn't like in Doom classic Doom I could recognize a monster on a corner. I don't even see it, right? But in the new game, maybe not quite as defined, but
Yeah.
otherwise perfect on the enemy
No,
design.
i-
Other than the
incredible
sound.
game.
Yeah, incredible game.
Yeah. I think easy.
They're just nitpicks.
nitpicks, and I nitpicking is good for everybody.
Right.
So you can, how do you improve upon greatness? Well, there's always little subtle ways. But yeah, Doom.
Yeah.
Doom 2016.
Doom 2016.
A spectacular product. Definitely worth even $60 for anybody
Easily.
who wonders.
Totally.
It was on sale recently for $35. If you didn't pick it up, you should have.
That's when I got it.
Yeah. But yeah, spectacular game. I look forward to more Doom.
I want Doom 2? Doom
2.
Doom
Doom
how
6.
about they just call the new one Doom? I don't even know what they call it.
Well, I think they're going to call the next one Wolfenstein.
Doom Hell comes back to Earth.
Hell in Perth. It's going to take place in Australia.
I think they'll probably just call it Doom 2.
Then it'd be so confusing.
That'll be
two
really
Doom 2s.
confusing.
I
Yeah.
th-
Wait, which
I
Doom
mean,
2 are you
there's
talking about?
two Dooms.
Yeah, it's which is confusing.
It is confusing.
It's kind of a new thing that they're doing. Is like, fuck numbers, just reboot with the same name.
Yeah, which I'm surprised they're not doing with the new Resident Evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
I
it's
heard
like
that
a
the
totally
gameplay's
own thing.
Gonna be different than there was in the demo.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk
Oh,
about
okay, yeah, well, that's another.
Yeah.
But fuck that game.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Doom, a fucking triumph.
Doom, I love you. It's such a great game.
Perfect.
I want more Doom.
Yeah.
I want to play it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. You can find me on Twitter at NoMediaEver. You can find Kevin on Twitter again. What was it?
Am I at K_signal666?
All right. And you cannot find the other Kevin
Yeah,
on Twitter.
I don't exist on.
He doesn't
Twitter
exist.
at this point in time.
He will.
But-
Maybe in the future. Maybe when you're listening to this, maybe it will exist.
That's true. Well, we'll put it down in the little description box. So yeah, thanks again for listening. I hope you enjoyed our little discussion on Doom. And
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
yep.
Thanks for listening.